Gratitude for feeling this. I wrote every word. I am the architect of the frequency. The AI is the instrument. King. Yeah. Allow me to introduce myself. I am king. A sovereign declaration. We are a chain, unbreakable and bright, moving together from the darkness to the light. I can't be who I ought to be, it's true, unless you can be who you ought to be too. Allow me to introduce myself. I am king, not a crown on my head, but a fire in everything. I am the echo of discipline whispered through Malcolm's clenched fist, the steady steps of Elijah's vision, head high, heart full, nothing missed. I am the blueprint in Garvey's hands, building tribal nations from broken lands. Not a tenant in a system that was never mine, a sovereign architect drawing my own design. This ain't performance, this is frequency, 500 hertz. This is energy, I don't just carry names, I carry missions. Generative man on a 180-day vision. We are a chain, unbreakable and bright, moving together from the darkness to the light. I can't be who I ought to be, it's true, unless you can be who you ought to be too. I carry Tubman's torch through midnight fields and sojourner's truth in every word I wield. From Moses King, my father's name, I inherited hustle, hope, and unshakable flame. I sip wisdom from W.E.B.'s pen, rise with Booker T, brick by brick again and again. Mary McLeod taught me how to teach, how to reach minds that history tried to bleach. C.J. Walker whispers wealth in my stride. Reginald Lewis shows me how to rise with pride. I got Nat, Denmark, and Chaka in my bones, a warrior sharpened by ancestral tones. Not rented inventory, I'm the own land. Build the love energy drives with sovereign hands. We are a chain, unbreakable and bright, moving together from the darkness to the light. I can't be who I ought to be, it's true, unless you can be who you ought to be too. UEP and Fred lit fires in my chest. I don't just resist, I rebuild, I protest. Entertainment ain't just a game, just a spell. Marley, Prince Mike, well I wear it well, but I ain't sedated by the construct's game. I name the system and I name my aim. Baldwin, Langston, Du Bois and Hill. My tongue is a blade, my pen can kill. Frederick taught me to speak and be heard. Don't cycle in the sermons, painting the word. I carry their frequency into the room. Every word I write is a seed, not a tomb. 56 years old, fourth quarter alive, on surgical strikes. I'm mega, I thrive. Unbreakable and bright, moving together from the darkness to the light. I can't be who I ought to be, it's true, unless you can be who you ought to be too. Allow me to introduce myself. Allow me to introduce myself. Allow me to introduce myself. I am king. Allow me to introduce myself. I am the dream they couldn't kill, the blood that won't spill, the storm that's still, a brass bubble crowned with flame. I'm sending you my signal. Are you picking up? I am the king.